Hi, friends. This is your pal, Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Professor Dungeon Master's astonishing video declaring the 20 most popular tabletop role-playing games of 2025, and how what he accomplished with this video goes so much farther than Dungeons and Dragons. It reaches the level of truth and how we determine valid sources today and what is truth. So there's a huge question right now in the American culture. What is truth, right? It's, we have a president who lies through his teeth. Like, it's not debatable if Donald Trump is a liar. He wrote a book called Art of the Deal. Just read the book. He's like, I'm a liar, right? Like, he says it right in the book. He said it years before he was president, and he has lived up to that promise, right? Then we are dealing with AI. And so, people are like, is this statement from a human being, or is this from something a different type of entity that I don't really understand and I don't have a relationship with? What is truth, right? You could say, so if you said, hey, this is an American gold eagle, it's solid gold. Here, would you like this, or would you like a Bitcoin? And only a fool would be like, oh, I'll take that real gold, that I could use in the apocalypse. They're like, oh no, give me that give me that that long string of numbers that's worth 50 times as much as this gold coin. So we are, completely disconnected from truth, right? And on D&D, this is extremely real. Like, let me give you two sources, right? Go to Dungeons & Discourse. You will see no less than 10 thumbnails that say D&D is over, D&D is dead. D&D has reached its terminus. You're like, what? Like, it's on every Barnes and Noble shelf. What are you talking about, right? And because that channel is just completely disconnected from truth, in my opinion. Stephen Glicker, just his hatred for Dungeons and Dragons is so powerful that he takes all these stories and he'll spin them and say, oh, Dungeons and Dragons is the worst game. Dungeons and Dragons is on its way out. Same thing. Just like, agenda outweighs truth. On both Dungeons and Discourse, the agenda outweighs truth, and on Stephen Glicker's channel, the agenda outweighs truth, right? There isn't even an attempt to communicate truth, right? And so what really shocked me was when I heard this list and I watched the whole video, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is the truth. This is the actual truth on what the 20 most popular tabletop role-playing games are today. And the way he did it was he went to Gen Con. He was there, right? He's a source who saw it with his own eyes, right? But he also did analysis, and he looked at all the events run at Gen Con and was like, these are the games. This is the number of events that they ran at Gen Con, and I actually saw them on the floor, right? Like, and it was astounding. It was, I've never seen anything like it, right? I think it's the future of determining truth, right? And so this is a meta topic that I now want to explain what Professor Dungeon Master's video explains to me. So here's the explanation. What is a source? What is a valid source of truth? Okay, it's when the communicator of information, when their desire to understand concrete reality and communicate to others concrete reality outweighs their agenda. Okay, all right. So let's talk about Professor Dungeon Master. What are his agendas? He has agendas, right? He wants his channel to grow. He wants to make money. He has a professional, I've never made a dime from my channel, right? I don't, I believe I have monetization on off on all my videos. And I've never expected this. I don't do any kind of Amazon links or anything. I don't have a coffee, I don't have a Patreon. I've never made a dime on this, right? So, but that's not the case with him. He wants to make money, right? He's talked about it, right? He wants Deathbringer, his tabletop role-playing game, to grow. I have that one. I have a tabletop role-playing game. You could get it for free in the link below. It's called ABC RPG Fantasy, right? And so, but he wants to sell, Deathbringer, right? What else? Oh, and then the other one is I think he wants to remain connected to the OSR, right? And and I think at every con, OSR guys are like, oh hey, I'm a dumpy bog standard dude just like you, from I shouldn't say he's dumpy. I'm a bog standard old guy like you. We both love yeah, I apologize for that. We both love 80s D&D, and we absolutely hate 2025 D&D, right? And I think he doesn't want to alienate. I think he has a lot of grognard followers, and I don't think he wanted to alienate them. And his answer is, I do love D&D, and he's like very careful, right? And he has this worm tongue, this Stephen Glicker, who he's friends with, right? Who absolutely despises all new D&D, right? Like, and and just is opposed to it, right? And I don't think he wants to alienate them, but I think he actually does like current Dungeons and Dragons, right? And so he's in these two worlds. So he wants to stay connected. He doesn't want to alienate the OSR. That's an agenda he has. But here with this project, I think he really wanted to know what are the actual CT, and he even says it at the end of the video, like spoilers. The number one, 1,307 events, D&D. Like D&D is the number one game in the world right now, and not by a small margin, by leaps and like double. Like the closest is like Pathfinder, and that it has almost triple the number of events that Pathfinder had. It is not the most popular by a little bit. It's the most popular by leaps and bounds, right? And he's like, if you listen to YouTube, you'll think that Dungeons and Dragons you can't find it anywhere. It's off every shelf and it's a complete failure. But if you go and you look on the ground and see who's playing it, you'll see it's defeating everybody. It's defeating everyone. Literally every competitor it's defeated, right? It's arguable. It's close to defeating them all simultaneously in the numbers, right? It's an astonishing victory, right? And so he wanted to know the concrete reality. And so he did the work and then he communicated it. And this has helped me to understand everything I hear, right? Every single thing I hear on the internet, I'm like, okay, what's this person's agenda? Do they have a higher loyalty to understanding concrete reality and communicating concrete reality to others over their agenda, right? And what's astonishing is when I see this and I ask that question, there are so many times where the reality is, I look at like, what is it again? Oh yeah. There are government institutions that don't do this. Their agenda is so high, right? Like recently, the jobs numbers came out and Trump fired the person who made the report, right? It was like, and now that next person is going to come in, and you're like, what's their agenda? To please the guy who put them in when they fired the guy that they didn't like the numbers from. So these numbers are going to be garbage, right? They're just going to be what Trump wants to hear, right? Whereas this was actual real attempt to understand concrete reality and communicate concrete reality, and it outweighed his agendas. It's so clearly, and I'm amazed. Like, and by studying Dungeons and Dragons, it helps me to understand everything. And this is my new barometer. What are your agendas? Are you more loyal to your agendas, or are you more loyal to understanding concrete reality and communicating concrete realities? That's the standard. That's the standard of truth. Every single word you just heard in this video is my humble opinion. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion, when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider subscribing and have a fetch millennium.